A Minneapolis woman is finding ways to conserve in Coon Rapids, one dumpster at a time. Tanya Feldkamp is working with building owners, looking at recycling practices, both good and bad, to make positive changes.
I think the results are really tangible. Most people think that they can't really do anything to help the environment, but recycling is just if you recycle a bottle, you're making a difference.
Tanya Feldkamp of Minneapolis is on a mission to spread that message throughout Coon Rapids. She's a member of Minnesota GreenCorps, an AmeriCorps program run by the state's pollution control agency focusing on environmental projects. Tanya is teaching Coon Rapids apartment, townhome, and senior living building owners that one man's trash could one day become another man's grocery bag.
I'm focused on improving recycling rates at multi-unit buildings. There were definitely good and bad ones. Typically the senior communities had the best recycling. You could just tell that the people there really knew what they were doing. I would look in their bins and you could see that there was no contamination. Other buildings just don't really have enough recycling carts, so they just can't really recycle.
She's also finding ways to remind residents what's rubbish and what's recycling.
Lots of times it's kids bringing out the trash, so hopefully they can see the pictures and tell the difference, or people that don't speak English. I have these 3 buildings around this area. So far I've noticed about 1,000 pounds more into the recycling. Yeah, it's definitely cool to feel responsible for that and to have to see the change over time.
Although she's already seeing positive changes, Tanya says she hopes her work lasts longer than her temporary job title.
Hopefully, I could recommend a change to them to maybe increase recycling, and then they could actually decrease their how many dumpsters they have or how many pickups they have for trash. So that could actually be a money-saving thing. But yeah, hopefully with my whole assessment, there could be city ordinance changes that actually require a certain amount of recycling capacity.
She says the current city ordinance doesn't encourage enough recycling.
There isn't very much muscle behind it, I guess. It's just you have to have, a building has to have recycling, but not any amount. I've been grading all of the buildings. I'll be sending out my assessment for them. I'm at kind of the halfway point where I'll start picking out certain buildings to try to come up with different strategies to see if they make a difference at all in recycling rates. So that could be better signage or just more educational materials or things like that.
Looking through dark dumpsters, she found a bright spot at Summit Oaks Apartments.
When I was doing the assessment, I was very excited to come here and see that there are people that are into recycling and that there were reuse efforts and donations and stuff like that. It was very encouraging. People can leave an end table or household items. So instead of throwing them away, because they still have a lot of use left in them, other people can just pick them up for free.
For long-term improvement to happen, she says people need to change their recycling routines.
There are people that are kind of not really into it, but I guess if you try to make it easier and then you try to show that other people are interested in it or other people are doing it, then it kind of normalizes the behavior. It just needs to become a habit.
Tanya says she hopes to hold buildings more accountable to offer enough bins or dumpsters to reflect the size of each complex.